you all so much. I hope you're having a great time home with your families. Today, I want to talk to you about the 10 Commandments. But before we get into what the 10 Commandments are, I want to talk about the story before we learn the 10 Commandments. So, we probably all know of a man named Moses, right? Moses was a very godly man. So in this story, Moses is with the Israelites. And the problem is, the Israelites are living in Egypt, and the Egyptians are really mean to them. It's not a good place for them to be living. So it takes a lot of work, but eventually, Moses is able to convince Pharaoh to let the Israelites leave Egypt. And so they leave, and they're wandering through the desert. It's very hard, it's hot and it's dry, and they're wandering for a really long time. But the good news is, God is providing for them during this time. He's giving them manna, which is like bread. He's giving them quail for meat, and he's giving them water. So even though they're having this hard time, God is still providing. But after about 2 months of wandering around in the desert, the Israelites camp at a place called Mount Sinai. And so they're camped at the bottom of this mountain, and Moses decides to climb to the top of the mountain so he can speak with God. And once he gets to the top of the mountain, God gives them the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are 10 rules that God wants the people to follow. And so I have them right here in my Bible. I'm going to read straight from Exodus 20. And this is where God gives the 10 Commandments. It says, "Then God gave the people all these instructions. I am the Lord your God, who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other God but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind, or an image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even children in the 3rd and 4th generations of those who reject me. But I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commands. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name. Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work. But the 7th day is a Sabbath day of rest, dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes you, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your livestock, and any foreigners living among you. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything in them. But on the 7th day he rested. That is why the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as holy. Honor your father and mother. Then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's house. You must not covet your neighbor's wife, their servants, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor." So those are the 10 Commandments, and I want to teach you some fun ways that we can remember each of the 10 Commandments. So number 1, hold up one finger. The first command is that you must not have any other God before me, which means that God is number 1. Commandment number 2 is that we must not bow down to false idols. That means that God is the only one we worship. We don't worship anyone else. So hold up 2 fingers, one on each hand. I'm going to have one finger bowing down to the other to remind us We only worship God. We are not supposed to bow down to anyone else. Number 3 is to not misuse God's name. So we should only use God's name in a good way. So when I have 3 fingers, it kind of looks like the letter W. That is to remind us to watch our words, to only use God's name in a good way. Commandment number 4 is to keep the Sabbath day holy. We use the Sabbath day to rest and remember God. So my thumb here is resting. He's remembering the Sabbath day. Number 5 is to honor our father and mother. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but sometimes when people make a promise, they hold up their hand like this. So for the 5th commandment, we say, I promise to honor my father and mother. Commandment number 6, do not murder. So I've got 6 fingers. One is pointing this way. This guy here looks a little angry, like he might attack, but God doesn't want us to do that. God doesn't want us to murder or to harm people. So command number 6, do not murder. Commandment number 7 is do not commit adultery. That means that when you marry someone, you stay with that person forever. So number 7, do not commit adultery. There are 2 people getting married right here, and they are always going to stay together. Commandment number 7, do not commit adultery. Commandment number 8 is do not steal. So I've got 4 fingers on each side. Now I'm going to pretend I'm behind jail bars here because we know that if you steal, you're going to end up in jail. We don't want that. Number 9 says you must not testify falsely against your neighbor. That just means don't tell lies about other people and don't gossip about others. So for number 9, I've got one person over here minding their business, but my thumb over here is telling lies and gossiping about these people. So we need to remember, don't gossip and don't tell lies. We should only speak truthful and good things about other people. And number 10 is do not covet. To covet means to be jealous of what other people have. So for 10, I've got all my fingers out and I'm saying, gimme, gimme, gimme. But we don't want to do that. We shouldn't be jealous. We should be grateful for what we have. So that's the 10 commandments. I'll go through everything real quick again. God is number 1. Do not bow down to false idols. Watch your words. Only use God's name in a good way. Rest on the Sabbath day. Honor your father and mother. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Don't lie or gossip about other people. And don't covet. Be grateful for what you have. So those are the 10 commandments. I hope this was a fun way to help you remember them. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you soon.